Welcome to our weekly news roundup at the Daspolitan, where we give you a brief rundown of everything that has happened in Nigeria and to Nigeria for Nigerians in and outside Nigeria. Stay tuned as we take you through updates on politics, security, education, Nigerian innovations, diaspora news, and the local news in the Niger Delta. Reporting is Kelvin Nanakumo from the Daspolitan. Welcome back. Let's get you started on updates on politics. INEC lacks 2027 election funding just weeks before legal deadline. With only 21 days remaining until the statutory deadline of July 16, 2026, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has reported that it is yet to receive the 873 billion naira earmarked for the 2027 general elections. Section 3, subsection 3 of the Electoral Act 2026 mandates that election funds be released at least 6 months before a general election. National Commissioner Mohammed Haruna warned that further delay could severely hamper the procurement of critical materials like ballot boxes and bimodal voter accreditation system (BVAS) devices, which require long manufacturing timelines. Despite the funding crisis, INEC proceeded to release official access codes to political parties on June 26 to enable them to upload their nominated candidates to the Commission's portal. This move triggered a political showdown, particularly within the PDP, where Minister Nyesom Wike challenged rival factions over who receives the authentic codes. Meanwhile, the Commission is planning mock presidential elections to stress test its technology and avoid the technical glitches that marred the 2023 IREV portal issues. In the background of these preparations, political maneuvering for 2027 is intensifying, with uncertainty surrounding whether President Tinubu will retain Vice President Kashim Shettima as his running mates. Speculations has emerged that former Chief of Defense Staff and current Defense Minister, General Christopher Musa, is being considered to provide a religious balance on the APC ticket. The delay in funding threatens the integrity of the 2027 polls by forcing emergency procurement decisions, while the release of portal access code forces a resolution to various internal party leadership disputes. Senate passes historic bill to establish decentralized state police services. On Wednesday, June 24, 2026, the Nigerian Senate passed a landmark bill to amend the 1999 Constitution, paving the way for the establishment of state police services across the Federation. The legislation transmitted by President Tinubu seeks to create a dual policing framework where a federal police service coexists with state-led institutions for states that choose to establish them. The bill survived over 6 hours of intense floor debate before being adopted through a manual voting process following technical glitches with the electronic system. The proposed law includes specific safeguards to prevent political manipulation, such as the creation of independent state police service commissions and the maintenance of national minimum policing standards. Under the new framework, federal police will continue to manage national security matters like terrorism and border security, while state police will focus on local crimes, community policing, and faster response time to kidnapping and communal clashes. To become law, this constitutional amendment must now secure the approval of 2/3 of both chambers of the National Assembly and be ratified by at least 24 states' houses of assembly. The proceedings were monitored by high-ranking officials, including the President's Chief of Staff and several states' governors and attorneys generals. This development represents a significant shift in Nigeria's long-running debate over decentralized policing, potentially empowering governors to respond more effectively to local security crises while raising critical questions about how to prevent the misuse of state-controlled armed structures. Lagos launches nutrition initiative to feed 30,000 pupils daily. The Lagos State Government, in collaboration with the Federal Renewed Hope, NHGSFP, launched a new school nutrition initiative titled Adopt a School for Snack for Thought, PBAT Feeds, on June 29, 2026. The program aims to provide nutritious snacks and beverages to 30,000 pupils in public primary schools daily. A pilot phase for the initiative is scheduled to run from June 30th to July 2nd, with a long-term goal of improving learning outcomes and reducing learning poverty. To ensure transparency and accountability, a digital dashboard was unveiled alongside the launch. These platforms allowed individuals and corporate sponsors to adopt specific schools and classroom and monitor the implementation of feeding through real-time attendance tracking and geospatial mapping. The initiative is designed to boost school attendance and support local farmers who will supply the food items. In a related educational development, the Federal Executive Council, FEC, recently approved a major reform for the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC. The 53-year-old agency is set to be transformed into a civilian-led, skill-driven, and productivity-focused institution to better equip graduates for the modern workforce. These initiatives represent a strategic attempt for both state and federal government to address classroom hungers and youth unemployment, using technology and institutional reform to drive better educational and economic outcomes. Burna Boy set historic record as most charted African artist. Nigerian Grammy-winning artist Burna Boy achieved a historic milestone on June 27, 2026, becoming the African artist with the highest number of entries on the US Billboard Hot 100 chart. This record was secured following the debut of Die Die, the official song of the ongoing 2026 FIFA World Cup, which features Burna Boy alongside Colombian pop icon Shakira. This marks Burna Boy's 9th appearance on the chart, moving him past fellow Nigerian star Tems, with whom he was previously tied. In the field of academic endurance, although not a Nigerian himself, Kenyan teacher Cyril Maloba of Menengai High School completed a 45-hour continuous mathematics lesson on June 28, 2026. His achievement was aimed at breaking the Guinness World Record previously held by a Nigerian, Sanusi Kazem, who taught for 31 hours, 42 minutes, and 54 seconds in Ilorin in April 2025. Maloba's attempt, titled Mathematics is Not a Monster, highlighted the competitive spirits of academic innovation across the continent. Additionally, the sources note that Nigerian chef Dorcas Kwamboka, identified as Kenyan in text context, and environmental activist Truthina Mutoni continued to hold and break record ratified by Guinness in early 2026, showcasing a surge in record-breaking attempts from the region. Burna Boy's achievement underscores the dominant global influence of Afrobeat, while the recurring attempt to break academic and lifestyle world record demonstrate a growing culture of excellence and international visibility for African professionals. Third batch of Nigerians evacuated from South Africa arrives Lagos. On June 30, 2026, the third batch of Nigerians evacuated from South Africa arrived in Lagos. This return is part of a broader Lifeline Home initiative by the federal government to step up diaspora protection amid increasing concerns for the safety of citizens abroad. The move follows heightening immigration tensions in South Africa as the June 30th deadline for certain immigration policies approached, prompting South African President Cyril Ramaphosa to reject vigilante actions against foreigners. Simultaneously, the Nigerian In Diaspora Commission, NICOM has entered into a new partnership with San Jose State University. This collaboration, announced on June 29, 2026, is focused on technology and education, aiming to create better bridges for knowledge transfer and professional development for Nigerians living and working in diaspora. The simultaneous evacuation and the establishment of high-level educational partnership reflects a dual-track diaspora policy, protecting vulnerable citizens in volatile regions while strategically engaging the professional diaspora to drive national development. Nollywood movies Call of My Life and Iwe Allah dominates box office. As of June 24, 2026, the Nollywood romance drama Call of My Life has maintained its position as the #1 film in the West Africa box office for consecutively 6 weekends. Distributed by Film One Entertainment, the movie has grossed over 628 million naira, making it the highest grossing Nollywood film released outside the traditional December festive window. It now ranks as the 7th highest grossing Nollywood release of all times in the West African market. Following closely in the second position is the culturally themed drama Iwe Allah and Ojude Oba Story, which grossed 43 million naira over the most recent weekend. The film's success is being handled by industry stakeholders as a sign of growing audience confidence in local storytelling and production quality. In the music scene, megastar Davido announced on June 24th that his 6th studio album, titled Oriade, is set for release, further heating up competitive Nigerian music landscape. The sustained box office success of locally produced films indicates significant shift in consumer behavior, with audiences increasingly favoring cultural narratives and high-quality Nollywood productions over foreign alternatives. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu commissioned newly expanded Karu Road network in Abuja. Representing President Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima commissioned the newly rehabilitated and expanded Karu Road network in the Federal Capital Territory on June 29, 2026. The project involved the expansion of roads from the Karu interchange to the Custom Clinic Junction, along with several vital adjoining roads. The upgrade is part of the administration's renewed hope agenda to resolve urban congestion in high-density satellite towns. The project features modern infrastructure, including solar-powered streetlights across the entire network, new drainage systems, and pedestrian walkways. President Tinubu commended the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, for his focused supervision of the project and praised the local contractor, Abdul Val Nigeria Limited, for delivering quality work that matches international benchmarks. Earlier the same day, President Tinubu also administered oath of office to new federal commissioners for the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, RMAFC, and the National Population Commission, NPC, to strengthen institutional governance. The completion of this project is expected to drastically reduce daily travel times for residents of Karu, the FCT's most populated satellite town, and stimulates the local economy by improving the movement of goods and people. And that's it on today's news roundup. Stay connected and stay tuned as we bring in more specially curated updates on things happening in Nigeria, into Nigeria, for Nigerians in and outside Nigeria. Reporting directly from Diaspora Prime TV, I am Kelvin Nanakumo.